I'm Katherine Sullivan. Thank you so much for signing up to receive the Social Media Super Tips series. I put together some of my favorite simple tips that are going to give you some really great results on social media. So let's jump right in. Do you ever just want easy social media tips to make the most of your online presence? Well, I did too. I wanted to find those little things that I could do that were going to make my life easier. Whether it was to be more organized or more efficient, to reach more fans, or even drive more traffic. So I took those techniques and I put them together for you in this series. Super social media tip number 1. Facebook interest lists make life easy, and they really do. So what is an interest list? Well, I'll start by saying that it's probably one of the most underutilized Facebook functions that's available, and not a lot of people know about them. However, once you start using them, you'll find that it's such a fantastic way to organize your content and to stay up to date with the things that you're interested in. So an interest list basically gives you a way to organize the content that you're interested in on Facebook. Because your newsfeed is such a popular piece of real estate, you get updates from your friends and your family, your favorite pages. There's going to be some ads in there, and your newsfeed can get quite cluttered. And even if you like a page and you've said you wanted to get their updates, Facebook's algorithm EdgeRank really determines whether or not you see it. So even though you've said that you like a page and you want their updates, Facebook's EdgeRank determines whether or not you see it. So you won't be guaranteed to get those updates. So you can actually miss a lot of your favorite pages' updates because Facebook doesn't think it's relevant to you. And an interest list is a really great way to get around that and make sure that you're seeing the content that you want to see. Now, you can either create your own list or you can follow lists that have already been created. So I'm sharing an image here, and I did a very quick search for lists named Entrepreneur. And the very first list is Social Entrepreneurs, created by Arianna Huffington. And you can see that that list has 82,000 followers. So if I'm looking for some social entrepreneurs to follow, that's probably a pretty great list. So let's get into the benefits. And there's quite a few, so I'll go through them quite quickly. I know your time is precious. So first, you can basically use this as a custom newspaper. And what I mean by that is after you create a list, when you click on that list, your newsfeed becomes a custom newsfeed filled with just pages that you're interested in. Organize your interests. This is another really great function. So you can basically create a list to follow all of the recipe pages that you like, to follow all of the entertainment pages that you like, or even follow all of the news that you're interested in. Just keeps it very organized, and that way you're seeing everything that you want to see. Clients. This is a biggie for me. I use this a lot. And what I do is for each client that I have, I create a brand new interest list for them. And I add pages that are big in their industry or, similar pages. And sometimes I like to stay up to date with competitor pages. And the reason is because I like to know what's going on. I like to know what the competition's doing, how they're using Facebook. And by putting them on an interest list, I don't actually have to like their page to get their updates. And since they're my competitor, chances are I don't want to give them a like or give them my endorsement because they're my competitor. So using an interest list, and I do an entire interest list of just competitor pages. So I can just kind of flip through and see what's happening. With the client lists, and here's going to be a really hot tip. So grab a pen and a paper and write this one down. When I have a client, and I'm going to use a fitness client as an example, I then create a interest list for fitness pages. So I'll go in and I'll add some of the biggest fitness pages, the ones that have a lot of followers and a lot of engagement. And then I add my client's page to that awesome fitness list. And as we saw earlier with the Arianna Huffington list, it had 82,000 subscribers. So if we're sharing our list, which we should be with our fans, we could say, hey, I just created this really awesome fitness list. If you want to stay up to date with all of these great fitness pages, subscribe to this list. Well, what you're doing is you're adding your page to that list, so you're going to increase your engagement. The more people that are going to subscribe to it, the more people are going to see you, and it's just another channel for engagement and fans. Inspiration. This is a biggie. So I don't mean stealing content, but I do mean drawing inspiration from what others are doing. And so, as an example, if I see a question and it was asked in a really unique way and it's getting a lot of engagement, I can try that same technique using different content, but using the technique on my page. So it's just a really great way to draw some inspiration. Another thing is graphics. Graphics are huge on Facebook and they can really draw in a lot of engagement. So if you see an image and you just like how it was done, maybe they added some banner and some text and it's getting a lot of engagement with fans, then you can try to, make something similar relative to your content. So you're just using it as inspiration. Curating content and industry news. Now, these two kind of go hand in hand. So in social media, for example, news moves at the speed of light. I mean, we are constantly staying up to date and there's always something new to learn. And I like to create an interest list for social media news. So when I want to pop over to that list, I can see what's happening. And then if I see something that's relevant to my fans, I can then curate the content. So I can take the article and source back to, where you're getting the news from. It's very important to always credit the source. But then I can, share the article with my fans and then give them my key takeaways and tell them why I thought it was relevant. Just another couple of bonuses for interest lists. So it's tutorial time. Let's pop into Facebook and I will show you how to make an interest list real quick. Okay, so interests are going to be on the left-hand side of your dashboard, and you just click on interests, and the blue ones are the ones that I've created. The green ones are the ones that I follow. So just to show you real quickly, Facebook experts and resources. This was created by Mari Smith, the queen of Facebook herself. And you can see the pages that are on this list. So Mari Smith is on this list. Facebook Mobile, Facebook HQ, Facebook Design, Facebook pages. So if I needed some Facebook news, I would probably pop into this list. And you can see that it becomes a news feed all relevant to Facebook, to whatever the interest is. So let's create our own list. And we'll go back to interests. And we're going to click this button up at the top where it says Add Interests. And here, so it already brings up some lists. You can do a search for lists if you want to see if one's already created. And then just follow them that way. But we're going to actually create one. So on the left-hand side, you can see it populates the pages that I'm already following. And I can add them easily there. You can check in the news categories that you like. Specific categories that you like. So if you're creating an entertainment page, you can just pop over here, lifestyle, and then just add them that way. I am going to create a new list for top brands because I love to see what the big dogs are doing on Facebook. So let me get some of my favorite brands that do really well on social media. Oreo's one. Skittles is another really great one. Crayola is really clever. Got some really clever updates. How about Starbucks? Who doesn't love Starbucks? I know there's some Pete's fans out there. I'm a Starbucks girl, so we'll do Starbucks. It's my list. Macy's. Let's do Levi's is another really great one. Levi's. There we go. Okay, cool. So then we click next, and here we can see all the pages I've added to the list. Now I have the option to name the list, so I'm going to name it just Top Brands. Then down here we have the option to leave it public so anyone can see it and subscribe to it. And remember, if you're going to be sharing this with your fans to encourage them to subscribe to your list, you want to make sure that it's public. Friends would be so only your friends can see it, and then only you would be clearly, you don't want anyone to see what's on your interest list, so you're keeping that one private. So we'll click done. And it's going to pop up here, and you'll see that we'll have a news feed entirely filled with my top brands. And then I can just kind of scroll down. And look how clever these really great brands are. They're just so unique. And it's just a really fantastic way to stay up to date with them. So then there's a couple other things I want to show you. Now on the right hand side over here, you can add to this list. You can add pages if you know their names, or it's going to give you some list suggestions based on the ones that you've already added. You can manage the list, you can edit the list, rename it, you can delete pages if you like to, you can even delete the list. Then here's where you can share it. So you can share it on your wall. I think you can share it on a message, in a private message. So there's a lot of ways you can share it. So if you're going to share this with your fans, I mean, hey, I've created this awesome fitness list. You guys subscribe to it and stay up to date with all the top fitness brands. So just to kind of give you a couple more ideas on how this could be used. So let's finish up our presentation, and I have an exciting announcement, everyone. I'm going to be hosting my very first webinar, and I am a little bit nervous, but I'm really, really excited. And it's going to be titled Killer Content Strategies That Spark Facebook Engagement. So if you've got a Facebook page and you are tired of hearing crickets, I'm going to show you a couple of really great proven techniques that I've used to spark engagement and to get fans to really start interacting on my page. So if you'd like to sign up for that webinar, please stay tuned. You can sign up for my newsletter, which is going to tell you when it's coming out. And you can do that at socialsolutions.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Mrs. Kat Sully or facebook.com/socialsolutions. Thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you for tip number 2.